Can you actually manifest a specific person? And if you are long-term subscribers to this channel, I think you know the answer. But then if you can manifest a specific person, why does it seem so hard sometimes? And those are going to be the questions that I answer in this video, because it is actually going to surprise you. So first things first, when we are manifesting a specific person and it seems hard, what is actually the cause of this? And the reason that we actually feel as if our reality is kind of working against us or a specific person doesn't want to be with us is actually because we are putting a lot of strain and force into the mix. Meaning that we're trying to logically force the outcome rather than just being the individual that's in the end state. So what this would look like is constantly texting your specific person, constantly calling them, constantly trying to meet up with them. All of those are screaming internally that we don't have what we want. And manifestation is all about assuming as if you already have it. So getting this feeling into a state of being. And once you have a clear image of exactly what you want, that's when things become easy and effortless. But otherwise, it's going to seem so hard and you're going to be trying so hard to manifest and it's going to seem like it's basically impossible. Because if we continue and act and do the same things over and over again and believe and assume the same states, we're only going to get and receive the same results. So basically, we know our subconscious mind is the thing bringing us our manifestation. So if you could think about it this way, the more you introduce your logical mind, it means the less we are going to have of our subconscious mind. So the more we try to figure things out, the more we try to manipulate the process, the more we try to solve the problems, the more we're actually going to be working against ourselves. And this has everything to do with the idea of the law of reversed effort. So the more you actually attempt to do something, the more work you put in, the harder that thing actually becomes to you. So instead, we basically are going to be doing more by doing less, by relying more on our subconscious mind and the beliefs and the assumptions rather than trying to force it logically. If I were to ask you, how would you bring your specific person to you in your reality? Or if you asked anyone on the street, the first thing they're going to mention is going to be something in the 3D or in our external reality. It would be things like texting your specific person more, calling them, trying to run into them, things like that. And the answer would be almost exclusively actions. But where then do we bring in this idea of our internal state? Because when you are trying to be confident, you could try to do anything in your external reality, but if you don't feel it internally, you're not going to be and act confident. Like in my previous video, I mentioned that normally clothes are referred to as something that makes us more or less confident. But truly, we've all experienced a time in which we felt very confident while not wearing the correct clothes, maybe wearing like a potato sack, but also felt not confident when wearing our absolute best clothing that we feel the best in. And so this is telling us that the power to create exactly what we want actually resides within our mind rather than anything we're going to be doing externally. And the more we actually focus on the internal state, that which is in our mind, assuming and being what we want, the more our reality begins to change as a result. And it always comes from our internal state first. Signs are always going to follow, they are never going to come before. And this is something Neville Goddard would always talk about. So back to the original question, is it possible to manifest a specific person, and why does it actually seem so hard sometimes? And this is directly a result of our actions not being connected with our imagination. Because when you try to act things out in your reality, it means in your imagination, you're seeing an outcome potentially that you don't want, and that's why you feel as if you need to take action. For example, in your mind, you could be imagining that your specific person does not like you or does not want to be with you, and that's what forces this need or desire that we need to text them, call them, or run into them in public. But your mind goes above and beyond your external reality. When you think and assume something, it automatically gets transmitted. Think back to that feeling of being confident. When you feel confident, regardless of what you're wearing or what you're doing, people around you respond in alignment with whatever you're thinking. So once you have your mind set to exactly what you want, you are relieved of any work or of any effort. Because when you imagine the outcome that you want, so see yourself with your specific person, it literally begins to force positive thinking. All of your beliefs, thoughts, and actions begin to align automatically with the outcome that you are desiring. And this makes it easy and effortless because then the texting, the calling, the running into them begins to happen as a byproduct of your imagination and thus feels effortless. So if you do feel like it is taking a lot of action or a lot of effort to manifest your specific person, I would make a scale within your mind. How much are you thinking logically and how much are you just assuming the state? Because if your action and your mental image are in a conflict, that causes a feudal mental conflict where you want or try to do one thing, but you imagine yourself doing something else. Does that ring a bell? That's the idea of imagining your specific person running away from you or being hard to get, but trying to act in accordance to the state. And a really good metaphor that's going to explain this is to imagine the idea that we are on a boat and you want to be sailing and not rowing. Because naturally, the wind is always going to be at your back. The wind is something that's going to carry you exactly where you want to go easily and effortlessly, just like your subconscious is trying to take you exactly where you need to go. And we can either use that power that again is easy and effortless, all you got to do is move the sail, or we could try to row as hard as we can to get to our destination. Now, I don't know about you, but I would definitely prefer the sail, the ease and the effortlessness. Once you set your sail, you can take a step back, relax, get a drink. Instead, rowing is a constant and futile effort because you would never go as fast or as quick to your destination as you would sailing. And so I want to give you 2 examples of this happening in coaching sessions. And you will be surprised at just how quick and easy it can come to you. So this first one is from an email coaching session. I used it a while back on my channel, but I thought this was perfect to the concept that manifestation can be easy and effortless, and it absolutely can be done. So during this time, I gave them specific affirmations and they wrote, I did the affirmations and he came back in my life about 2 days later. So imagine that, how easy and how effortless it is to assume the state. What I like about this success story as well, it shows you that you don't need to take massive action and the assumption is truly all that you need. And here's another one that happened with literally 0 effort, just with the state assumed. And they wrote, hi Kyle, he has been texting me all day, all of a sudden. So think about that and think about how both of these success stories were created and manifested again with 0 action in your external reality. It is totally our logical mind that feels as if we need to force this action. Now, honestly, when you get into this state, divine guidance may have you perform some specific actions in your external reality. In the same way that sailing on that sailboat, your body needs to move the sails in order to align it. And this isn't a problem at all. So if you have the feeling, the sensation, the divine guidance to text your specific person, that could totally be the bridge of events. But remember, these are always going to feel natural, automatic, easy, and effortless. If it ever starts to feel overly difficult or overly hard, that just means we're back into the state of trying to force it, and that would be a notion or time to take a step back and focus on your internal state. So all in all, I think you guys already knew the answer to the question, can you manifest a specific person? Yes, you absolutely can. And why does it feel difficult or hard sometimes? And that is only because we're not focusing on the state, we're focused more on our external reality. So take a step back and get into the trust of knowing that you, by assuming the state, you actually feeling as if you already have it, is going to create the outcome that you want. Again, remember, you are relieved of work and you are relieved of strain. You don't have to feel bad during the process. And that's actually something I always like people to think about, because feeling bad or feeling down during the process is actually meaning, again, we are trying too hard. Because think about if you felt as if you already had exactly what you want. Wouldn't it feel easy? Wouldn't it feel loving? Wouldn't it feel exciting, abundant? You would be feeling all those feelings if you felt as if you already have it. But remember, this also doesn't mean that we have to feel happy 24/7 in order to manifest. Our thoughts don't manifest, it's our assumptions that do. If you did have any questions on this, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. And remember, you can also reach out to me at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And before you go, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe, because I want to hear your success story when you manifest your specific person. As a reminder as well, I am always manifesting for all my members. So if you did want to make your manifestation even easier and more effortless, I would click the link in the description. Thanks again so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.